Hello. Everyone wants to see you. Say hi. Give me a kiss. Oh, you lovely little angel, you. He's a bit camera shy. He likes to dodge the camera. You want some chicken pasta? Do you want some chicken pasta? Yeah? Okay, I'll give you a bit of chicken later on. Hi guys, Ben CG here, hope you're doing well. So, after I made the spicy peanut curry noodles in my last video, you can check that video out in the corner if you want to. This time, I am going to make a really delicious recipe that is a Mediterranean one, and it's a spiced-ish garlic, tomato, paprika and chicken pasta. I really am loving this dish, and it's quite healthy, and save for the chicken, it's vegan. So if you want to eliminate the chicken quite easily, you can do that and it'll still be really, really tasty. So I'm going to show you everything you need and exactly how to make it, and I implore you to try it. You will be surprised at how much it tastes like you've just been served it in a 5-star Italian restaurant. Okay, so this is your shopping list. This is everything you need. I know it looks like a lot, but I promise you in practice it really isn't. So the first thing we need is frozen, diced, chopped white onions. If you want to cut your own and cry, be my guest. Chopped garlic, again the same. If you want to cut your own, be my guest. Chopping garlic is an absolute pain in the arse. Big heads up for the UK shoppers though, because I know cost of living is a concern right now. Good old M&S, this great big bag of chopped garlic is £1.75. Even if you go to Sainsbury's, you get a tiny small cardboard box like this size for the same price. Go on, M&S. Okay, next thing we need is tinned tomatoes. I do find it makes a difference if you use a good brand here. So I've gone for an imported brand here, Cheerio. It was relatively cheap. It's like 85p for a tin. And climate neutral, apparently, so that's nice. And pasta. Again, it does make a difference if you use the good stuff. Di Cecco is a widely available brand. Very, very good. Comes recommended by Italian YouTubers. And not too expensive, to be honest with you. Don't miss this. We need vegetable stock cubes. This is OXO for the UK. And I'm also going to add a meat-free chicken stock cube with the vegetable stock. So this one's optional, but you must have the vegetable stock. Extra virgin olive oil, essential for any Mediterranean cooking. Salt and pepper. Paprika is a major part of this recipe, so don't skip out on that. You can add chili powder as well if you want to. And then to top it off with, we've got parsley. If you can get fresh flat leaf parsley, even better. And some kind of grated cheese. I've gone with Grana Padano because that's just the cheapest available. And I've also got here some chicken thigh fillets, which I'm going to cut up in the wok. So yeah, tools wise, we just need a wok, a wooden spoon and a small Pyrex style jug. And something to cut with. I'm going to probably use scissors, to be honest with you, because I hate handling raw food and the food processor is not a lot of help here. So that's everything you need, and do it together. Follow along. So yeah, I forgot to mention this is actually just a 1-pan recipe. Nice and easy, very little washing up involved. Hob on, top end heat, and first thing I need to do is add and sear this chicken. So as I say, these are boneless thigh fillets of chicken. Thigh is definitely a juicier cut. You can use breast if you like, but just be aware that it might well dry out a bit quicker. And this also needs to be diced. I have no fancy camera assistant or any equipment. My phone is on my windowsill. You want this colour on the chicken because that's going to give it flavour. And yeah, just sear them on both sides like that. Open them up flat. And then really the way you dice your chicken is up to you, but I'm going to be doing something really awkward with scissors. Can't really show it to you any better than this without an extra set of hands, so I'm just going to pick it up with tongs and just snip it. Believe me, I can hear all the reactionary YouTubers. Learn knife skills, Ben. I know. Okay. So when it's in nice small pieces, I'm just going to transfer that onto a plate, really. And then I'm going to just leave this to one side for later. Now we're going to get on with the rest of the sauce. Hob is now on just a medium to high heat. 7 out of 9 is okay. And the first thing I need to do is add the frozen chopped diced white onions. To be honest with you, I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm not really measuring this. About that much. Call that what you will. And to this, I'm also adding extra virgin olive oil, which I probably should have done first. And then the garlic comes next, but it has to come after these are a little bit sautéed because garlic burns quite easily. Now, while you're waiting for those to sauté, one thing you can do is get some, I don't know why I pronounced it that way, some vegetable and chicken stock ready. So boil some water, stick the kettle on. I'm going to get these into this jug. About a pint of stock here, because the pasta's going to cook entirely in that. Now that the onions have got a bit of golden colour on them, I'm going to add my frozen chopped garlic. I'm going to aim for like a tablespoon and a half-ish, but it's just rough, so... You know when you're mid-cooking and it's like, you feel that impending sense of dread, like actually I probably should have measured it. So before it was too late, I decided to be sensible and actually take some of the onion and garlic out and put it into some cling film, aka saran wrap. So I'll save that for another time, because that's probably going to be a bit strong. Right, moving on from onions and garlic, this is good to go now. So the next thing we need is paprika, and I am going to learn from my mistakes and measure this out. We want 2 teaspoons full of this, and this is the paprika I just get from my local farm shop, so it's not like sweet smoked or hot smoked or anything in particular, it's just paprika. Teaspoon number 2. And then give this a mixy. It'll kind of become thicker and dry quite quickly because it absorbs up the water of the onions. But basically you just want to get that coated and start glazing the bottom of the pan with paprika until you can smell the stuff, and it will happen like within seconds. So be vigilant, because next we're going to add tin tomatoes. Cheerio! There's a bit left over in there, so the good old Jamie Oliver method. A little bit of water, a little bit of a swirl. Swishy swishy, dump. No waste. Starting to look yummy now, so the tomatoes are splattered. The tomatoes will also going to help deglaze the pan at the bottom from the chicken and the paprika. This is the base for our pasta almost done now. And really, all you need to do here is season it with some salt and pepper. Not too much, because the stock will add flavour as well. Okay, I need 2 hands for this. About 10 cracks of the mill there. And this just needs a bit of time to simmer through and get to know each other for about 5 minutes or so. Give it time. Food deserves love. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be measuring out 2 builder's mugs, as we call them in the UK, of penne pasta. And I do recommend penne for this recipe. I've seen it made with risotto rice as well, if you want to give it a Spanish kick maybe. With some manchego cheese. I've got grana padano and penne here, so we're going Italiano tonight. Okay, so this is now measured out, and I also want to give you a quick crash course in how to look for quality pasta. If you just look under the light, if the camera will focus, you kind of want something that's light in colour, and then you can see the sort of powdery texture, the roughness in the ridges. Whereas if you compared it to a cheaper brand, look at the colour of that. It's bronze. That's because it's dried and cooked really, really quickly. Not cooked, but like dried out really, really quickly to be mass produced. You can literally see the difference in colour and the difference of the texture as well. Like there's no roughness here at all. And this cut extra short too. So this is like dirt cheap penne, which I don't know why we have in the house, but we do. And I mean, if you can afford it and you really want the good stuff, look at this. Look at the texture on that. This is tagliatelle. But the more of that roughness and the light pale colour you have, the better. I mean, this makes even De Cecco look like cheap crap. Look at that. That looks beautiful. That's rumo. Ooh, let me get it out the flicker. This is rumo. I got this from the farm shop. It was about £4, so pretty expensive, but nice to try once in a while. So it's been about 5 minutes. Don't let it burn on the bottom of the pan, so just give it a good stir. It does spit a little bit, but this should be really tasty now. So The next thing we're adding is the chicken that we cooked earlier. This goes back in at this point. And mix that through. And then pasta, straight in. I know this looks like an unusual way to cook pasta, but this is the one pot method. Lots of people do this. So coat this pasta in the sauce as much as you can, and then stock. And that's pretty much it. Bye. No, I'm joking. I'll show you how it goes. Okay, so you want to get it to a point where it's going to look like this. And then we get to the stock. It might have sunk to the bottom a bit, so just give it a good stir. Make sure it's all up there. This is quite a lot of pasta, so you'll probably, even if you're making for two, actually, you'll probably have leftovers for the next day, but I don't see a problem with that, do you? Stock goes in. Use all of it. You need about a pint, because it's got to cook the pasta. And you would be forgiven for thinking this is just going to boil and you'll serve it just like this, and you'll think like, what the hell? But I promise you, as this cooks, the starch that comes out of the pasta is going to thicken this sauce until it's basically evaporated and infused into every delicious mouthful. But what you need to do to get this to happen is to keep mixing it and then keep covering it. So I'm going to keep it on a medium-ish heat, about 6 out of 9. Cover it with the lid, and then every 3 to 5 minutes, maybe every 3 minutes I would advise, just get back in there and stir it round. And as you stir, the starch will release from the pasta. And just keep doing that until it's thick enough for your liking, really, without overcooking the pasta too much. Chef's note, I didn't quite account for the fact that I was making extra pasta than I normally do, so honestly, do not be afraid to add extra water if you don't think it's enough and if it's not going to cook the pasta right through. So just to show you, if you remember how watery it looked just before, look at it now. This is after about 7 minutes. That's already so much thicker. It's going to move the pan, so I'm going to just do this properly. Make sure you kind of scrape at the bottom as well, just in case anything starts sticking. It shouldn't do really. If it does, it's probably too high a light. But this does thicken up, as you can see, so just keep this process going. You get in there real close, you can see the starch is making the tomato sauce cloudy. So that's a sign that the starch is coming out and it's thickening everything up into like a nice comforting stew of pasta and deliciousness. In fact, at this stage I'm going to steal a fork and taste to see how it's cooking. Oh, it's almost there actually. It's a little on the bland side, I think, because I've got so much pasta in, so I'm going to add a bit more seasoning. So at this point I'm going to turn the heat off completely and just let it sit with the lid off. It might still look a bit watery, but if you just give it a couple of minutes to sit, then it will thicken up substantially. And that's pretty much ready to serve after that. You can just top it with some grated cheese and some parsley. And again, if you've got fresh flat leaf parsley, even better. But this is pretty much ready to go. Adding your grated cheese at this stage actually helps it to thicken up. But if you want to do it at the table, that's entirely your choice. Makes not much difference. But look how thick it is. Like, all the water is almost gone. Awkward filming angle, but here we go. Oh. Absolutely divine. You will be surprised how easy that is to make. That is so good. Oh, I love this dish so much. Should we do your song, Teddy? Should we do your song? You like your song, don't you? The Teddy song, ready? A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Tiddly, tiddly, tiddly too. I love him and he loves me too. Tiddly, tiddly, tiddly tot. He loves us 'cause we're all he's got. Is that right? Okay, so that's going to do it for me for this video, but stay tuned because I've got my 100th video coming up to be uploaded very soon, and it is the Iceland South Coast video. It's one of the best and happiest travel days of my entire life, so please come and watch the premiere. I'll have the details in the description of when that premiere is taking place.
In the meantime, I have made some corrections and some updates to some of the videos from Iceland as well as Turkey. So those have been reposted because I wasn't happy with them when they were first posted. So apologies for recycling content, but it also helps because I'm working on following those up now. And what else? Social media, this picture's a little bit clearer now, so I am now using Twitter and Instagram mainly for the foreseeable future. The Facebook fan page is still there if you want to follow it, although it'll mostly just be echoed off my Instagram because I've personally quit Facebook, so I only use the page now. But on top of that, there is Threads. I have a Threads account. You're welcome to follow me on that Threads account, but because of the way the federal social media is developing, I'm eventually going to be moving that to another platform, but you'll still be able to use Threads to follow me on that account if you want to. So you're welcome to follow me, but I won't be posting on Threads because I don't like their data scraping and their invasive privacy practices. And I'm also on Mastodon and Blue Sky now as well, the two new federal social networks. I'm on all of them really just to see which one takes off the most. And that's all there is to it. I'm not going to be actively promoting the Mastodon and Blue Sky too much because the server names part of your handle, it's all a bit awkward, so I think all of that needs to develop itself. But yeah, basically, it's Ben CG Travels. If you search Ben CG Travels, you'll find me on Mastodon or Blue Sky, so you're welcome to follow me on those platforms too. But I'm not pushing them too heavily. I also have a Telegram channel as well. I forgot to mention. So come and follow my Telegram channel if you have Telegram, the social media / private messaging app. It's actually really, really good. It's like WhatsApp. If you join my Telegram channel, you'll get direct updates straight from me to you as a push notification. So that's really, really cool. So there's no need for any algorithms or anything. You'll just be part of that group and you'll get to chat with all the other members if it builds up too. So that's nice. A little bit of a community thing going on. Anyway, I've rambled on too long. Stay tuned. Lots more content coming. Hope you enjoy the recipes. And I'll see you soon for my 100th video. I'll be in the chat for that on the premiere. So ciao for now. Bye bye.